Henry Moore. BCS Ford, Yorkshire, 1898. D. Much Haddam, Hertfordshire, 1986. Born into a mining family as the seventh of 8 children, Henry Moore would become the most famous British sculptor of the 20th century. He gained his reputation by staying true to his materials, making sculptures by carving stone and wood and trying to establish an active relationship with the material. He rejected classical and Renaissance ideas of beauty, and instead looked to the vitality of ancient and primitive sculpture for inspiration. 2 subjects kept recurring in his work: the mother and child, which he rendered without sentimentality, and the female figure, which usually undulated like a landscape. During the war, he was appointed as a war artist, creating moving drawings of people sheltering in London's tube stations. After the war, he started working in bronze. This made possible a new range of forms. The later work often has a new expressive power, and also enabled him to keep up with the increasing number of public commissions that resulted from his international reputation. Lifeline. 1917–19 serves in the Army. Gassed in World War I. 1921–24 studies at Royal College of Art. Teaches there until 1931. 1928 first one-man show at the Warren Gallery. 1932–39 head of sculpture at Chelsea School of Art. 1940 moves from London to Much Haddam, where he lives for the rest of his life. 1951 first retrospective held at the Tate. 1976 establishes the Henry Moore Foundation. 1986 dies, aged 88. Figure in a shelter during World War II, Moore made a series of drawings showing Londoners sheltering in tube stations. They are bleak images of underground existence. This ghostly figure under a shroud is particularly despairing. Yet the drawings were seen as metaphors for the stoic resistance of the British people. As a result, they were exhibited at the National Gallery, London, in 1941, 1941, pencil, ink, wax crayon, and wash, 38 by 56 centimeters, Wakefield Museums and Galleries. West Yorkshire, UK. The Warrior, made in 1946, this piece seems to be Moore's response to the horrors of the war. Precariously perched on a plinth, with limbs amputated and head gashed, his warrior does not seem to be much of a hero. He appears to hold his shield up to ward off more suffering. 1946, bronze, Kunsthal Mannheim, Germany. Mother and child inspired by non-Western sculpture, Moore rejects tradition in this depiction of maternal love. In line with his truth to materials philosophy, he has carved directly into the stone, and the figures have been imbued with the solidity and strength associated with stone. Moore wrote in 1934 that stone should not be falsified to look like soft flesh. It should keep its hard, tense stoniness. 1925, Hornton Stone, 64 by 41 by 36 centimeters, Manchester Art Gallery, UK. The sensitive observer of sculpture must also learn to feel shape as shape, not as description or reminiscence. Henry Moore, 1937. 4-piece composition. Reclining figure. Although the title refers to a figure, Moore evokes natural forms, animal bones, and a landscape. He wrote, "The human figure is what interests me most deeply, but I have found principles of form and rhythm from the study of natural objects, such as pebbles, rocks, bones, trees, plants." 1934, Cumberland Alabaster, 18 by 46 by 20 centimeters, Tate, UK. Closer look. Rock carvings. The curves of the incised lines, reminiscent of prehistoric stone carving, echo the undulations of the 4 forms. Stuart Davis. B. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1892, D. New York, 1964. Davis made idiosyncratic abstract paintings that captured the vitality of American life, its cities, its street life, advertising, and neon lights. He was, in effect, the first pop artist. In the 1930s, while most of his contemporaries were painting realist images, he developed a new style contrasting geometric areas of flat color with objects clearly defined in linear perspective. These images possess a wit and gaiety. The bright, dissonant colors and lively, repetitive rhythms can be seen as analogous to jazz music, which Davis loved. He was recognized in his lifetime with retrospectives at the Museum of Modern Art in 1945 and the Whitney Museum of American Art in 1957. Visa Davis used advertising imagery years before the pop artists. Here, a lively jumble of letters and shapes creates a painting that grabs you as a poster would. 1951, oil on canvas, 102 by 132 centimeters, MoMA, New York, U.S. Graham Sutherland. B. London, 1903, D. London, 1980. Sutherland was one of the most important and versatile modernist artists to emerge from Britain. Not only a painter, he was a printmaker and designer of ceramics, stage costumes, and posters. In 1921, he abandoned a railway engineering apprenticeship to study etching and engraving. For 10 years, he worked as a printmaker. His late 1930s paintings of South Wales were mysterious landscapes of light and dark. They were far removed from the clarity and simplicity of abstract artists and heralded a romantic revival in British art, which dominated the next decade. An official war artist, he was shocked by photographs of Nazi concentration camps and took up religious painting after the war. His expressionist portraits often caused controversy. Lady Churchill destroyed his portrait of Winston Churchill. Welsh landscape with roads. Sutherland uses unnaturalistic coloring and low-key tones to create a threatening atmosphere in this landscape. He wrote that paintings like this express the intellectual and emotional essence of a place. 1936, oil on canvas, 61 by 91 centimeters, Tate, London, UK. Closer look. Ancient past. Sutherland conjures up a sense of the landscape's history through the inclusion of the animal skull in the foreground. Alexander Calder. B. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1898, D. New York, 1976. Calder revolutionized sculpture by inventing mobiles, a term coined by French artist Marcel Duchamp in 1931. His delicately balanced constructions consist of abstract shapes suspended from wires and moved by air currents. Calder himself described them as four-dimensional drawings. He spent much of his 30s in Paris, where he became friends with many of the Avant Garde artists, including Piet Mondrian and Joan Moreau. Indeed, with their colorful shapes, Calder's mobiles look like animated versions of Miraut's paintings. Later in his career, Calder produced huge mobiles for public commissions, including Kennedy Airport, New York, 1957, and the UNESCO headquarters, Paris, 1962. Some are motorized, like the 14 wide red, black, and blue at Dallas Airport, 1967. Lifeline. 1923-26 Studies at Art Students League, New York, 1926 Makes small animated animals in wood and wire. 1928 First one-man exhibition at the Wake Gallery, New York. Moves to Paris. 1931 Joins the Abstraction Dash. 1933 Returns to U.S. Lives mainly in Roxbury, Connecticut. 1944 First major retrospective at Museum of Modern Art in New York. Mobile. This is a typical example of Calder's mobiles. The suspended shapes look like natural forms, petals, and berries, and are attached to wires that resemble the branches of a tree. French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre called Calder's mobile symbols of nature, abruptly causing 1,000 butterflies to take wing. See 1932, metal, wood, wire, and string, approximate. 150 by 200 by 200 centimeters, Tate, London, UK. Black Widow. Calder also produced large static sculptures, which French sculptor Jean Arp called stabiles. These were made of bolted sheets of metal. The bold curves are similar in shape to the mobiles. They invite the viewer to walk around them, implying the idea of movement. 1959, painted sheet steel, 233 by 434 by 226 centimeters, MoMA, New York, U.S.